Hello everyone, and welcome to AV Cyber Active. This video has 20 sample practice questions to help you with your Certified in Cybersecurity certification exam. Feel free to pause after every question to read the options and then proceed with understanding the correct option and why it's the correct choice. So, let's begin. Question 1. When it comes to physical security, what is the most important consideration? A. Prevent unauthorized access to systems and data. B. Ensure the safety of personnel from harm. C. Protect physical infrastructure from natural disasters. D. Ensure the data center is never accessed by unauthorized parties. Correct answer is option B. Ensure the safety of personnel from harm. Explanation. Ensuring the safety of personnel from harm is always the top priority in any organization's physical security plan. Property and information can be replaced or recovered, but the lives and well-being of employees are priceless. When creating safety procedures, organizations must plan for emergencies like fires, earthquakes, or hostile intrusions to keep everyone safe. Security policies, therefore, always treat human safety as more important than technology or assets. This principle guides the response to every emergency. Question 2. What is a reason why people in the workplace are not necessarily attuned to practicing good security? A. For most people, job performance is more important than security. B. Employers may not measure employee security performance as part of employee success. C. People tend to be trusting of others and may not be on the lookout for malicious activity. D. To all of the above. Correct answer is option D, all of the above. Explanation. Many employees focus on completing their tasks efficiently, often putting productivity ahead of security practices. If organizations do not include security in their performance standards, it gets overlooked. People are also naturally trusting and may not question suspicious behavior from colleagues or strangers. This combination of factors makes organizations vulnerable to social engineering and security incidents. That's why regular security awareness training is important. Question 3. Of the following, which best describes what a compromise is in cybersecurity? A. The secrecy of information. B. The accuracy or completeness of information. C. The property that information can be accessed when it is needed. D. A security incident that results in the unauthorized access to information. Correct answer is option D. A security incident that results in the unauthorized access to information. Explanation. A compromise in cybersecurity occurs when unauthorized access to data, systems, or networks happens, intentionally or accidentally. This means a malicious actor or even an internal user can see or use information they shouldn't have access to. Such incidents could result in data theft, manipulation, or service disruption. Protecting against compromises involves both technological safeguards and user education. Detecting and responding quickly to a compromise minimizes potential harm. Question 4. Which of the following are also referred to as logical controls? A. Physical. B. Defense in depth. C. Technical. D. Administrative. Correct answer is option C. Technical. Explanation. Technical controls, also called logical controls, use technology to keep information safe. Examples include using passwords, encryption, firewalls, and intrusion detection systems. These controls work alongside physical, like locks, and administrative, like policies, measures to protect data. Technical controls are crucial in modern environments where many threats come from digital sources. They help enforce security rules consistently and automatically. Question 5. What is a characteristic of host-based IDs products that allow them to monitor for and detect malicious activity? A. They automatically take action to stop the attack. B. They use software called agents installed on the host computer. C. They enable one host to monitor activity on another host. D. To all of the above. Correct answer is option B, they use software called agents installed on the host computer. Explanation. Host-based IDs software is installed on each monitored device and acts like a security camera for that computer. These agents watch for suspicious changes or activities that might suggest a security risk, such as unauthorized file modifications or strange processes running. They provide detailed insight into threats that occur at the individual machine level. Unlike network-based IDs, host-based IDs is uniquely positioned to catch local attacks or misuse. Regular updates to the software ensure new threats can also be detected. Question 6. Which of the following correctly identifies the concepts that make up the CIA triad? A. Common, available, and integrated. B. Confidentiality, availability, and integrity. C. Risk, availability, and integrity. D. Confidentiality, availability, and integration. Correct answer is option B, confidentiality, availability, and integrity. Explanation. The CIA triad stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability, the three main pillars of information security. Confidentiality keeps sensitive data away from unauthorized users. Integrity means that data is accurate and hasn't been changed by accident or malice. Availability ensures that authorized users have reliable access to data and resources when needed. Security strategies are designed to protect all three of these equally, as weaknesses in any can be disastrous for an organization. Question 7. What is a key component of the detection and analysis phase of the incident response process? A. Ensuring infected systems are isolated on the network. B. Reviewing logs and security alerts. C. Restoring systems from backups. D. Identifying opportunities to improve the incident response process. Correct answer is option B, reviewing logs and security alerts. Explanation. During an incident response, reviewing system logs and security alerts helps security teams understand exactly what happened. Logs provide detailed records of activities, while alerts highlight potentially dangerous events. This information enables responders to identify which systems were affected, how the threat entered, and what actions were taken by attackers. Analyzing these details is crucial for containing the breach and planning a proper response. Continuous monitoring helps catch new incidents early. Question 8. The Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, for an organization is asking the security engineers to build multiple layers of controls to increase the effort required for a potential attacker to succeed in compromising systems and reduce the risk if one control fails. Which of the following concepts is the CISO implementing? A. Least privilege. B. Defense in depth. C. Security governance. D. Authentication. Correct answer is option B, defense in depth. Explanation. Defense in depth is the strategy of using multiple layers of defense to protect systems. For example, a company might combine firewalls, antivirus software, strong passwords, and user training. If one layer fails, others are still in place to block or limit an attack. This approach significantly increases the difficulty for attackers, as breaching one control won't give them full access. It is considered a best practice for sustainable and resilient security. Question 9. Which of the following is a physical security measure used to prevent someone from accessing a certain area? A. CCTV. B. Lighting. C. Fence. D. Alarm system. Correct answer is option C, fence. Explanation. A fence is a physical, tangible barrier that directly blocks people from entering a restricted area. Its presence makes unauthorized entry much harder compared to security measures like cameras, which only provide evidence after the fact, or alarms, which simply warn of a breach. Fences can be combined with other controls to create secure perimeters. Properly built and maintained fences significantly reduce the risk of intrusions. Question 10. Which of the following is an example of a source of incident information that may be used as part of an incident response investigation? A. IDs alerts. B. Suspicious system activity reported by an employee. C. Endpoint logs. D. To all of the above. Correct answer is option D, all of the above. Explanation. Incident response investigations rely on multiple information sources to build a clear understanding of what happened. Automated systems like IDs provide alerts for suspicious network activity. Staff might report seeing unusual behavior, which could be a crucial early warning sign. System logs record minute-by-minute activity that can provide key evidence. Together, these sources give a complete picture of the incident and help responders act quickly and appropriately. Question 11. Which of the following is an example of a containment strategy that can be utilized to mitigate the impact of a security incident? A. Examining server logs. B. Conducting a lessons learned. C. Reviewing IDs alerts. D. Isolating infected endpoints from the network. Correct answer is option D. Isolating infected endpoints from the network. Explanation. Isolating infected devices from the network is a containment technique used to stop a threat before it spreads to other systems. This may involve disconnecting computers physically or virtually so they can't communicate with critical resources or other users. Quick containment is vital to minimize damage and loss, especially during malware outbreaks or active attacks. Once the infection is contained, a more thorough investigation and cleaning can be done. This is a key part of strong incident response. Question 12. What is the potential impact of a botnet attack on an organization? A. Disruption of business operations and loss of revenue. B. Or theft of sensitive information and intellectual property. C. Damage to reputation and loss of customer trust. D. To all of the above. Correct answer is option D, all of the above. Explanation. Botnet attacks cause far-reaching damage. They can take down servers, disrupt websites, and stop employees from working, which results in a loss of income. If attackers steal sensitive or proprietary data, it can ruin trust with clients and partners. Such incidents are often widely publicized, causing reputational harm even years later. So that's why organizations invest in layered defenses and ongoing monitoring to detect and mitigate botnet activity early. Question 13. As the person within his organization responsible for processing employee expense payments, John has access to his organization's financial system, but he does not have access to the human resources (HR) system, as he does not have HR responsibility. What is the best practice that his organization is applying? A. The principle of zero trust. B. The multi-factor authentication. C. Single sign-on. D. The principle of least privilege. Correct answer is option D. The principle of least privilege. Explanation. Least privilege is about giving users exactly the resources and permissions they need, nothing more. John's access is limited to finance because giving broader access would be unnecessary and risky. If his credentials were ever stolen, the damage would be limited since attackers couldn't access HR or other systems. This principle is fundamental to reducing insider threats and minimizing the consequences of accidental or intentional misuse. Question 14. What is a worm? A. A type of malware that disguises itself as legitimate software. B. A type of malware that encrypts files and demands payment for their release. C. A type of malware that self-replicates and spreads through networks. D. A type of malware that steals sensitive information from a computer system. Correct answer is option C. A type of malware that self-replicates and spreads through networks. Explanation. Worms are unique forms of malware because they can move from one computer to another on their own, often exploiting network vulnerabilities. Unlike viruses, which often need users to run infected programs, worms spread rapidly with little or no human action. Major worm outbreaks have caused widespread damage within hours of release. Preventing worms involves timely security patches, firewalls, and good user practices. Question 15. Bob wants to purchase a type of firewall that keeps track of the nature of conversations to only allow connections that are part of existing authorized conversations. Which type of firewall should he choose? A. VPN. B. Bastion host. C. Proxy filter. D. Stateful the dynamic packet filter. Correct answer is option D, Stateful the dynamic packet filter. Explanation. A stateful firewall not only checks basic information in each packet but also tracks the entire conversation between devices. It remembers which connections are legitimate and only lets responses through if they match an established session. This makes it harder for attackers to send fake information into the system unnoticed. Such firewalls are much more effective than basic packet filters at blocking sophisticated threats. Question 16. Which of the following is a benefit of using CIDR? A. It allows for faster data transfer between networks. B. It provides more flexibility for splitting IP address space. C. It provides increased security for network traffic. D. It provides less efficient use of IP address space. Correct answer is option B. It provides more flexibility for splitting IP address space. Explanation. CIDR allows organizations to create network segments that precisely match the number of devices they actually have. This avoids wasting IP addresses, which are in short supply. By using CIDR, large and small networks alike can organize their resources efficiently, and ISPs can allocate addresses more wisely. Without CIDR, the Internet would have run out of IP addresses much sooner. Question 17. Which of the following best represents the process for security risk management? A. Risk identification, assessment, treatment. B. Risk identification, assessment, impact analysis. C. Risk assessment, remediation, lessons learned. D. Risk acceptance, transference, mitigation. Correct answer is option A, risk identification, assessment, treatment. Explanation. The process starts with identifying risks, finding out what could go wrong, then assessing their likelihood and potential effect. Finally, action is taken to treat risks, which could mean fixing vulnerabilities, accepting them if the impact is small, or transferring them, such as through insurance. This cycle is continuous as new risks emerge. By following this process, organizations can better anticipate and prepare for security threats. Question 18. What is the purpose of an incident response plan? A. To ensure the organization is prepared to respond to a cybersecurity attack. B. To ensure backups are being performed. C. To ensure incidents never happen. D. To ensure employees are trained on identifying phishing emails. Correct answer is option A, to ensure the organization is prepared to respond to a cybersecurity attack. Explanation. An incident response plan ensures everyone knows what to do in the event of a cyber attack or security breach. This helps reduce panic, ensures communication is clear, and lets responders fix the situation faster. The plan lays out steps for containing the threat, recovering lost data, and notifying authorities or customers if needed. Regularly practicing the plan keeps teams prepared for emergencies. Question 19. Which of the following best describes the concept of defense in depth in cybersecurity? A. Placing all security controls at the network perimeter. B. Implementing a single layer of security controls. C. Using multiple layers of security controls. D. Placing all security controls at the endpoint. Correct answer is option C, using multiple layers of security controls. Explanation. Defense in depth means using security protections at several levels, like building a castle with walls, a moat, and guards. No single layer can provide perfect security. Attackers who bypass one may still be stopped by another. Layers include physical security, network controls, software restrictions, and user training. This approach is essential for dealing with complex and evolving cyber threats. Question 20. Which of the following devices operates at the network layer, layer 3, of the OSI model? A. Router. B. Switch. C. Hub. D. Firewall. Correct answer is option A, router. Explanation. Routers are core devices that connect different networks, directing data based on IP addresses at layer 3 of the OSI model. They make sure information takes the most efficient path and reaches the right destination. Without routers, separate networks could not communicate with each other, greatly limiting the usefulness of computer networks. Bonus. Question 21. Which type of testing gives the best indication of how well business continuity planning will perform during an actual disaster? A. Checklist testing. B. Structured walkthrough testing. C. Table type exercises. D. Full interruption testing. Correct answer is option D, full interruption testing. Explanation. Only full interruption testing simulates a real disaster by shutting down business operations and executing the recovery plan under true conditions. This reveals problems that might not be noticed during drills or table-type exercises, such as hidden dependencies or unexpected delays. While disruptive, it provides the most accurate measure of preparedness. Organizations usually plan these tests carefully due to their complexity. Question 22. What port does DNS typically use? A. 80. B. 53. C. 443. D. 21. Correct answer is option B, 53. Explanation. Port 53 is designated for DNS traffic, which is how computers resolve website names, like www.example.com, into IP addresses. This process is foundational for Internet communication. Without working DNS on port 53, browsing and digital communication would be extremely difficult, as users would have to remember numerical IP addresses instead of names. Question 23. A security engineer wants to implement a detective control that will alert when suspicious activity is occurring but will not block the activity. Which of the following controls satisfies this requirement? A. IPS. B. Firewall. C. Antivirus. D. IDs. Correct answer is option D, IDs. Explanation. IDs, intrusion detection systems, are designed to observe activity and alert security teams about anything suspicious. They do not take automatic steps to block or stop threats, which prevents them from interfering with normal business operations. This lets experts investigate and take action as needed. IDs are vital for early warning and forensic investigations after incidents.